I want to show you something sitting in a scrap yard within 20 miles of where you're reading this right now. It weighs about 40 pounds. It looks like a grey plastic brick, and it can store enough energy to run your refrigerator, your lights and your phone chargers through an entire night completely off-grid without a single drop of gasoline. New, a battery with this capacity costs $800 to $1,200, sometimes more depending on the brand and the marketing budget behind it. At the scrapyard, it costs $40 to $80, sometimes less if the guy behind the counter doesn't know what he's got, which happens more often than you'd think. This isn't hypothetical, this isn't a niche trick for electrical engineers with lab equipment. Tens of thousands of people in the DIY solar community are already doing this. They're running homes, cabins, RVs, and workshops on batteries they pulled out of junkyards, paid almost nothing for, and wired up themselves on a weekend. And the solar industry, the one selling you $900 lithium packs in matte black enclosures with app connectivity, has absolutely no interest in telling you this is possible. So I will, before I get into exactly what to buy and how to test it, do me a favor. If you've been spending money on solar and feeling like you're still not getting the system you actually want, hit that like button and subscribe to Lost Tech Vault right now. Every video on this channel exists to pull back the curtain on the stuff the industry marks up 600% and sells you as innovation. Subscribe so you catch everyone. Let's start with the problem because it's real and it's expensive. Solar panels have gotten cheap, genuinely remarkably cheap. A 200-watt panel that cost $400 10 years ago costs $60 today. The technology commoditized, the supply chain scaled, prices collapsed, batteries did not follow. A quality 100 amp-hour lithium iron phosphate battery, the kind you actually want for a serious solar setup, still runs $250 to $400 from a reputable brand. Want 200 amp hours? $600 to $800. Want a full home backup system with 10 kilowatt hours of storage? You are looking at $3,000 to $6,000 before installation. The panels are cheap, the charge controllers are cheap, the inverters have gotten reasonably cheap. The battery is where the system cost lives, and the battery is where the industry knows you have no choice but to pay up. Except you do have a choice, you just have to know where to look. The battery I'm talking about is the Nissan Leaf battery module. Here's the context that makes this make sense. Nissan has sold hundreds of thousands of Leaf electric vehicles since 2011. Those early generation Leafs, 2011 through 2017 especially, had a well-documented problem. The battery degraded faster than expected in hot climates. Owners in Arizona, Texas, and California watched their range drop from 80 miles to 50 miles to 35 miles. The cars became impractical. They got traded in, sold for parts, or sent to salvage. The battery packs from those cars got pulled. And here's the thing, a Leaf battery that's dead for automotive purposes, meaning it holds maybe 60 to 70% of its original capacity, is not dead for stationary solar storage. Not even close. Stationary storage doesn't care about weight or volume efficiency the way an electric vehicle does. It cares about cycle life, voltage stability, and cost per kilowatt hour. A degraded Leaf module still delivers all three at a price point that makes no commercial battery competitive. Each Leaf battery module delivers 7.5 volts nominal and roughly 500 watt-hours of usable capacity when new. At 60 to 70% health, you're still looking at 300 to 350 watt-hours per module. String 4 of them in series, and you've got a 24-volt, 1.2 to 1.4 kilowatt-hour battery bank for around $150 to $200 total. String 8 modules, and you're at 48 volts and nearly 3 kilowatt-hours for under $400. A commercial lithium battery with 3 kilowatt-hours costs $1,500 minimum. Usually more. The Leaf modules use lithium manganese oxide chemistry. They are stable. They do not vent toxic gases. They do not catch fire the way certain other lithium chemistries can when mistreated. They have a built-in cell architecture that has been tested across millions of real-world charge cycles in actual electric vehicles. These are not experimental. These are proven cells that have just moved from one application to another, and they are sitting in scrap yards right now, waiting. Now let's talk about what to actually do when you get there, because buying blindly is how you waste even $50. The test you need requires one thing: a simple direct current voltmeter. You can get one for $12 on any online marketplace, and it fits in your shirt pocket. Every module you're considering buying needs to be tested before you hand over money. A healthy Leaf module at rest reads between 7.4 and 8.2 volts. That's your green zone. Buy those modules without hesitation at scrapyard prices. A module reading between 6.8 and 7.4 volts is borderline degraded but potentially usable. Negotiate hard on price and test further at home before committing it to your system. Anything below 6.5 volts is a dead cell situation. Walk away. It is not recoverable for meaningful storage. Check all 4 cells within the module if the pack is open enough to probe. You want balanced cells, readings within 0.1 volts of each other. A module where one cell is reading 1.4 volts while the others are at 1.8 volts is a problem. Cell imbalance at rest. That severe means the weak cell will drag the whole module down under load. Beyond Leaf modules, 2 other scrapyard finds are worth knowing. Forklift batteries are the blue-collar workhorse of this world. Industrial flooded lead-acid batteries pulled from warehouse forklifts are routinely scrapped when a business upgrades equipment. A forklift battery can weigh 1,500 pounds and store 20 to 40 kilowatt-hours. They require maintenance, watering, equalization charges, ventilation for hydrogen gas. They are not plug and play, but for a stationary shed or garage solar installation where weight doesn't matter, a $200 forklift battery properly maintained will outlast almost any commercial lithium pack you can buy retail. Server rack UPS batteries are the easiest entry point. Data centers replace their uninterruptible power supply batteries on a fixed maintenance schedule, typically every 3 to 5 years, regardless of actual remaining capacity. A battery that's due for replacement in a server room might have 80% of its original capacity left. These are sealed lead-acid batteries, typically 12 volts, 100 amp hours. They pull out of the rack in standard sizes. They're clean, labeled, and often available in matched sets. Data centers and IT recyclers frequently give them away or sell them for under $20 each because disposal is the alternative. Not sexy, not lithium, but free or nearly free kilowatt-hours are free kilowatt-hours. Here's the reality the solar influencer space won't tell you. The battery technology that matters for most home solar setups is not cutting edge. It's not the newest chemistry or the thinnest profile or the one with Bluetooth monitoring. What matters is cycle stability, cost per usable kilowatt-hour, and how long the bank lasts before you need to replace it. Used Leaf modules hit all 3 metrics at a price that new commercial batteries simply cannot match. The do-it-yourself solar community worked this out years ago. Forums, YouTube channels, and group builds have documented every step of the process. People are running 10 kilowatt-hour systems for $600 total. Full home backup, real systems, not experiments. The industry keeps those conversations quiet for the same reason any industry keeps cheap alternatives quiet. There is no margin in pointing you toward the scrapyard, so consider yourself pointed. Start with a voltmeter and 1 module. Understand the chemistry before you scale, get your wiring right, fuse everything properly, and build incrementally. And keep watching Lost Tech Vault, because next week I am going over the exact charge controller settings you need to run the salvaged lithium modules safely. The parameters that protect the cells, extend their life, and make sure your $50 investment performs like a $500 battery for years. Subscribe. You are going to want that video.